And live. You know, every time I go live, all I'm thinking in my head is one, when Crypto Audi King goes, "Hello, TitanX community," and he's just like chilling with the camera from on his upper left. Or you got the Blaze team, they're like, "Bullish up." They got that whole video that was created for him, which I think is incredible. And who else has some pretty cool intros? Crypto Awesome when he does when he was, I think he was filming whatever, and he's like, "What's up, Awesome X community? Hope you having, what was it? I can't remember. I'll be honest, I can't remember, but I just know he was like, hey, hey. He just brought a lot of that positivity to everyone. So okay, hope everyone's having a great day. Let's take a look, see what's going on with the market. So I'm gonna bring this up. Okay. All right. First, let's just take a look. Oh, a bunch of I still see green, but from an ecosystem perspective, okay. So we're down a little bit. I mean, if we also took a look at ETH, ETH is down from jumping over 2,800. So okay, I wouldn't be surprised things were down. Or since ETH with pumping and then all of a sudden it dragged up the ecosystem, my guess is maybe some people were like, "Oh, sweet, we finally got to a number. I just need just a minor pump, and then we're out." So okay, no big deal. Not worried about that. Um, let's see. Let's take a look at. Let's do a little chart. So I was looking at this earlier, and I thought this was pretty cool. All right, work with me. So I noticed what I was looking at, and this is financial advice. Do your own research, do your own learning, teach yourself. This is just things I'm observing as a best guess. With Bitcoin, I mean this, and this is on the weekly. I'm a weekly guy, especially as y'all know, especially on projects that have been out for a minute. This was a nice little, let's see if I can get that. Not cursor. We'll do brush. Looked like there's a nice little M here and then a little W. Maybe this is going to be another M. I don't know. This is maybe just going to follow this pattern. But then, I take that hypothesis and I go, let's apply this back all the way to 24. It didn't look like that at all. That kind of looks an M and a squiggly line up. I have no idea. This is just what I'm noticing. This is what I'm seeing. Be curious to see what y'all are noticing. Let's look at ETH. Man, every time ETH starts moving, I know I just start getting excited. All right. I don't know. That's not what I meant. I don't know. Maybe let's take a look at the daily. Maybe it's forming this, maybe it's just sideways action and then slow pump up. I just really think and I put this tweet out either yesterday or today, so that was the local high. I'm just doing, okay, I said 3,700, looks like it might be 3,600's the target. But it kissed 28, who knows how long. But my guess is if it doesn't have a massive pullback to any of the fib levels and it actually breaks and consistently breaks, this is looking at the daily, above 2,800, then our next goal is Yeah, our next goal is 3,600, 3,700. That would be, please. Otherwise, I just see this retracing back to at least maybe 2,500, just looking at levels, but who knows? I don't know. There are better TA guys than me that could tell me and go, no, this is what's going on. I know Trump just announced that him and China have a massive deal, great deal, whatever it may be. Who knows how that's going to impact? There's so much noise going on. You have to yeah, just so much noise going on. Okay. Nothing. And before I show more about the deck, I made some improvements and then doing some TA on TitanX. I want to show y'all, I thought this was really cool, what AwesomeX did. He came out with he used Veo 3 and used a handful of videos, and I just think, okay, as I've talked about, and especially now that we're seeing mainstream media. So I think CNBC just put out, Bitcoin price target of 130K. I saw that as an invitation of, okay, looks like we're really in for something. Someone knows something's going on, but if you want to get retail in, what are some highly creative ways to bring people in? And have to get credit where credit is due. These are some pretty sweet videos. Let me play this for y'all. I know I think he did. I know, at least I think, yeah, here we go. I post this out, I show y'all this because, and I'm noticing this in the chat. And I think it's just human psychology. Once we get in kind of a either defeatist or just a down mentality, it's just kind of we're all good at, myself included. I've done this for a while now of just, all right, let me just point the finger at someone and be like, come on, you got to do something. You got to do something. Let me point at the founder. Hey, we need XYZ person. Do something, do something, do something. Save us, whatever it may be. But this is it's a fresh marketing for those who, I don't know, if you have to pay for this, I'd have to look at that to see what goes on. But thought this was fresh, especially for the ecosystem. So there's also those baby ones where it's like babies on a podcast. I'd have to look. Um, if anyone knows how to do that, that would be incredible, incredible, because it brings something fresh to the community, an easy eye grabber. You can 8 to 10 seconds. I think that's how long these videos are, and then you can I don't know how long it takes to generate. But just thinking of ways to add. If you want to pump I know I've heard this. I'm sure everyone's heard it. If you want to pump your bags, if you're like, especially being a founder is a little more difficult because you have to be careful. But especially for those of us who, I'm not a founder, I don't want to launch my own token. I don't want to launch my own project. I have no interest in that. Those who have interest, have at it. Go after it. Not any interest of mine. But at least for those of us who have invested, whatever the project may be, and for right now, I'm just thinking, all right, here's a way to help out the TitanX eco. I think use Veo 3. Let's look into, and maybe you can, or I don't know. That's just using the model. That's not actually Google itself. Dun, dun, dun. maybe you could take. We have pictures of, and even Jake X. I mean, he's done a great job creating all those videos, and they're refreshing. They're hilarious. I especially the most recent one, where it's like the 70s or 80s picture of Jake X and Chris. You know what? It's positivity, man. It's more infectious, and it light brightens everything up. Um, so yeah, take a look. Maybe we could do something where you have baby Eric and baby Jake, like just sitting there having a podcast with each other. I don't know how easy it is or the money behind that. I'm just thinking of ways to add. That's all I'm thinking about. Next, I wanted to show y'all is the that I've been slowly tweaking and slowly improving. Let me show y'all this. Okay, TitanX. So as we think about, if I were to advertise this to someone in retail, what's the value prop? That's, some of is sales. What's the value prop to me? What kind of value is this going to bring me? And one of the ones I thought of is, okay, how do we leverage? All right, so ETH, for some of us, maybe none of us, we want a better position in Ethereum, or we want to make insane gains. So we're in altcoins. Bitcoin last top was 69K, and now it's at 100. Then went down. That's up at 100K. I mean, if you bought at 69 and you're waiting for a 2x, you're waiting for it to hit 140. But if you accumulate when it was towards the bottom at like what, 13, 15, whatever it may be, during the bear, when it dropped 60, 70%, and you're maybe almost a point. Okay. But if you bought the last top and you're waiting for the next top, you're waiting for the next 2x, Godspeed, unless you accumulate over time. All right. So I've heard once before, it's like Bitcoin does a 2x, Ethereum does a 4x, and altcoins, meme coins, God knows what's going to happen with those. But I don't know. I have no crystal ball. I'm just slowly learning how to do better TA. But I say that all to say, TitanX, leverage play on Ethereum. What is it? And this can always get better, can always look better, but I at least want y'all's opinion. And share, let me know if there's something like, oh, this would be better, XYZ. At some point I'm going to take pictures and just share this out on X so everyone can take a look. What is it? Hyperdeflationary L1 on L1. How Jake, the founder, has described it is DeFi 3.0. It's a fair launch. So, to my knowledge, granted it's limited, but to my knowledge, majority of the time, not all the time, but at least majority, when anything launches, there's usually, it's by VCs, maybe they're raising funds, and then you get a certain pre-allocation, and then that just makes it easier for you get it at the low, you wait for retail to all buy to pump your bag, and then you just dump it on retail. Not the goal here. Community owned. When things are community owned, when they're community owned, community built, it is not solely up to the founder to promote it. So, like in real life, I think whatever towns, cities we live in, as we see all the time, usually the voices that are louder get the most attention. So with TitanX, It's up to us as the community to do something about it. Triple audited code, triple audited secure code. If you're going to launch something that is truly decentralized, you got to have it audited. You got to have that thing protected. You got to have someone a well-trusted company or individual who has a proven track record of projects they've audited that have been launched and have had no bugs to take a look at your every line item, understand the architecture, understand how things are implicated. It's got to be. So, cool. That's the project. Leverage play on Ethereum, compound your bags, whatever sort of way. So, what's available? What can you do? Congrats, you bought TitanX. What can you do with it? You can, staking. I should have added that. What's available within the ecosystem? You can compound your ETH position or TitanX, DragonX, whichever position with mining or staking, depending upon what protocol you want to use. Kind of like, when TitanX first launched, there's people that use that to compound their ETH position. Cool. All right, now you got TitanX. What if you want a better TitanX position? Well, some other protocols have launched to be able to allow you to compound or improve. Let's say you got 1 billion TitanX and you want to get to 10 billion. There were at different points, hopefully it'll come back. I don't know if it will, to be able to grow your TitanX or even your DragonX position. And you have to look at it through the lens of, okay, is this really going to work out? Is it not? Like Hyper, Hydra, Volt, Inferno, all these. Or maybe they're just meme coins in the TitanX eco and just wanted to launch. This is just one avenue. It's not the only one. Another one, you want to be a farmer? Come one, come all, come be a farmer. I remember that being a thing, and it was all about yield farming. We got Titan Farms. You can earn Tink, and that Tink has a certain ratio with TitanX. And so while if it's a sideways market, which Johnny Papa Vegas taught us last year, if everything's going sideways, why not? And you got positions of 2 coins and you want to earn, why not? You don't have to. You have to do some serious thought because there are risks involved. Financial advice, do your own research, yada, yada. But there are risks involved, and that's something you can do, is earn some yield. I think it's APR on your pairs. Again, up to you, but that's something available. And there's even more. You got TitanX Utils, courtesy of Keto Natural and Jukes the Great, I think. And then price per billion from Rod Warren. And so with TitanX Utils, I know it's in development right now, but what's going through is being able to look at, and I'll bring it up here while I'm just talking about it. TitanXUtils.com. You will be able to access real-time analytics on all the auction, the mining, the NFTs, and you can swap. So you get real comprehensive. I think what I'm most looking forward to is on the mining side. And I'd be really excited to see what it comes out with. But being able to see, okay, here's the current percentage ROI. We'll just use TitanX as the example. if you wanted to mine, what the estimated ROI is on for each protocol. So then you can determine, is this even legitimately worth going into? Like, oh, maybe I see 5% for TitanX, but then I see 25% on with Eden, or I want to do Hydra or Hyper, Helios, whatever it may be. Just a great value add, because then you can see how you can either grow your position, or if you want to improve, maybe compound miners, whatever you see fit. It'd be real. Oh, did that not? Okay, sorry about that. What I was showing, I thought it popped up, and then I went to check. So just all within here, being able to see, all right, hey, if I can do a little leverage and make little jumps over time, and then eventually either you make some profit, whatever you may be. Auctions, I have to get credit to where credit is due. I know I was going to say ROI, but let me look at full, just an example. Yeah, if you were, been around, oh my gosh, we're 100 days away from, well, over 100 days away from Volt being out for a year. But if you wanted to do if you had some TitanX laying around, you wanted to improve your position or ratios, whatever it may be, using that. So yeah, please say subscribe, but also please retweet, share this out. So yeah, that's TitanX utils. Let me go into price per billion. See what we got here. Okay, Rod, perfect. Oh, I know you had this upgrade, but I wonder I'm going to ask him what it comes with. But here's everything you get to see. And a little bit of moon math, market cap simulator, price tracking. Here's everything. AI analyst insights. Oh, so that's the upgrade. I wonder which AI is using. Grok is using GPT, is using Claude, what's he using? I'm a freak. Oh, I did not. Oh, did he I wonder if this changed. Oh, I think this changed since we. Okay, I guess I have to create a whole. I got to create a whole thing. All right. I'm not going to sign in, but this is something else to show. You can be able to see, all right, how much is a billion, 100 million, 10 million, 1 million, breakdown. There's a little bit of moon math. This had to have changed recently. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, that's.
I'll show you later when we get back home.
All right. Let's see. Move this out of the way. Okay, let's do a little TA, see how things are going. So I've got a theory, and I'm curious what anyone else sees. And so my theory I'm running with is, so we know ETH right now, it didn't click to me until earlier. So the high of ETH, and I want to make sure, yeah, my mic's on, cool. The high of ETH was just over 4,000 from, let's see, and then what I'm looking at is when did this run up, this first 10x? It started, okay, about August. Okay, August. All right, so the 10x of TitanX, what it looks like, started, we'll just say, about here. And when did it approximately end? October. All right, October, end of October. So could we say that was 78 days, give or take? Okay. What I wonder, so this is about the price of ETH, and it front ran, that's not what I meant. It front ran the ETH pump when ETH went to 4K. V2 buy and burn was turned on. So the hypothesis I'm working with currently is this was intentionally turned on. And my guess is to front run it to burn supply, because as we are all, I mean, we all are hoping that ETH does actually moves up into, that's not, I just need we're all hoping that ETH moves from here and goes way up. That's what we're all hoping for. This is not me actually saying yes, it will. This is just, so my guess was you want to front run it because, I don't know, maybe he was thinking, all right, it's just right after end of Q4 high, ETH is just going to just go south fast. And that's what happened. ETH decided to take a nosedive just straight down from the 4K. And then it's created, it's got this nice little flag, bullish flag, and it's popped up. We'll see what it does after that. But what my kind of working hypothesis that I'm working with is, yes, green candles bring new eyes, but you want to have had as much supply burnt as possible during this section of time. Now, why not do it? Why not do it in coordination with ETH? It's you don't know when ETH is going to pump. You can have a general idea like, oh, ETH is going to move maybe generally in this time frame, but we don't know, okay, for certain that's going to happen now. So I think this was an intentional pump to burn supply given the price of ETH at the time, because otherwise we would be begging, oh, please do something with the between here, which at time for 90 something days it was below, not 90 something, sorry, let me move this, we'll say, and this is on the daily, we'll say to about right there, and then not perfect, but for about 2.5 months ish, the price of ETH was below what it was last year. Oh, ay caramba. because it was lower, V2 at the time, I have no idea what it would have been worth. But to me, that wouldn't have been conducive to the project, because then you're just burning at a time when it's not beneficial. And the goal is to, the goal buy and burn. There's a couple ideas. One, you want to be able to maximize ETH at the time, what the price of ETH, so you can get the most amount of burn. So for anyone but that also pumps green candles, but also for anyone who's exiting their position. Oh no, it's just my hypothesis. I have no idea if it's true or not. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I've wondered. Because when this pumped, especially with all the protocols that were also launched during that hype, DragonX also did its run, but that also sent the supply. I don't know what it. I don't have anything what it was, where it's at, so on and so forth. But I mean, we're over 56.25% burned, and it was during that hype time that many other protocols launched with excitement, and they've done what they've done. Many of them, you could say, left to be desired, but that is where we're at. You want to reduce supply, increase demand. Okay. So anyway, that's a hypothesis. Well, what was DragonX doing that time? And then we'll take a look at a couple others. Because DragonX told the rest, everything else, hold my beer, and did its thing. So when did it rocket up? July, right before TitanX pumped. And when TitanX pumped, when TitanX did its 10x, I know we've all looked at this before. I just like coming back to, this is approximate. This is not, you know what? I'm using the wrong. Let's take a look. Price date, let's say about here, all the way up. All right, well, I know it's a little lower than that. Okay, it's not 155x. I mean, you could have gotten that if you bought at the very bottom. I'm just using that as an example. So TitanX did its 10x. DragonX started its Leroy Jenkins. And it took 84 days for it to do 100x. Good night. Okay. What I want to take a look at, let's see. Let's look at another protocol. Let's look at Helios. What did it do during that time? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right. Okay, from August. So Helios, about that time, let's say from there to there, kind of pumped up and then just went sideways and stayed in a range. We'll say 90 days. But it did a 10x. Okay, what else? Let's take a look. Was Lotus out by then? I don't know. Oh, that's not what I meant. Not what I meant. Lotus. Okay. And me clicking on these graphs is not me saying, yes, go buy this. Please jump into this because then you pump. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm taking a look and I'm just curious about. Okay. Oh, no, it hadn't launched yet. Okay. So Inferno, yes, it would have been out by then. There's a certain barometer I'm looking at. All right. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Could Inferno have, hats off to these guys. I don't know I wonder if they intend. This is one question I've always asked. So I know Jake is big on numbers and numerology and whatnot. I'll have to, one day if I ever ask him, I have to say, what's the numerology behind my birthday, my son's birthday, and my house number? Because my birthday is 424. My son was born on 828, and I live at 727. I have to ask him. All right, so talk about one hell of a time for Inferno. It did its own in 86 days. What did it do? Let me move things. Okay, it did 17x. Okay. Golly, Dragon X went wild. Oh, I can't go that far back. Can I sort these? Yes, I can. Let me take a look at Baby Dragon X. Because having been built, it talk about let's get after this. All right, from here we'll say okay, about there. Wow, 160x ish. Oh, well, let me go a little further down. So if you had bought ish on July and held it until and then sold at the very top, it was the top end of October, the 1 year anniversary of TitanX, you would have had a 210, 211x. Nice. That's incredible. Okay, so we see what can be done. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So my hypothesis is that the one I'm running with is that it was intention. This, did it keep it? No, it didn't. My hypothesis, and people can disagree with me on. Let's log this. Thank you. We all know I'm a weekly guy because how long the project's been out. Don't give me the month. Is that this was intentionally burned on to capitalize on the price of ETH given what was going to happen for the first 6 months of the year, 5 months. You don't want to, if ETH is going like this and you turn the second buy and burn on, that's not going to be beneficial. At least I don't think so. Because then your price go down, but you're trying to make your protocol. But as ETH is burning, you're able to use you're using less ETH to burn more TitanX. Anyway, let's do a little more TA. What's going on? All right, so I asked, I don't know how many weeks ago, someone about local fib retracement, and I've been kind of playing around. I've been playing around with it a little bit. So this was the local high, and I just took a stab at it. I'm not perfect by any means, but what this tells me, and I'm just sliding it across because I don't want to ruin it, is this is on the daily. For those who are paying attention, can y'all still see this? Cool. For those who are watching and everything, so it broke. Did I say 382? Son of a gun. I think I meant the 236. Okay. Oh well, I'll go back and correct. But it broke through the 236 line. It's dropped back in because this is the local high, the local low. And that's okay, so that's there. All right, so back into accumulation zone. You could consider another way to look at this. There's a couple ways I like looking at TA, especially if the project's been out for so long, is, okay, I'll keep it on the daily just for the sake, because I don't want to, let's say this high in October, say about there, and then that's the new low. looks like to me, if that's the high, if we don't include this, the first 2 months, we don't include, yeah, the first 2 months, and we just look at this, okay, this has been an accumulation zone since January. First week of January-ish. I don't know. Now, if we want to include, TitanX, when it launched, it does this normal thing, went down, right back up. If we want to say that was a legitimate high, then we can say since December or January, this entire project has been in an accumulation zone since end of December 28th of 2023. I don't know. You make your own decision. Am I suggesting you go buy? No. Am I suggesting you go sell? No. Am I suggesting that you go do your own research? Absolutely. These are just things I'm observing. And it's like, well, there's this, there's local, there's so on and so forth. I don't know what will happen. I have no idea. There's still a lot of things to happen with TitanX. Jake has talked about, let's see, I'm going to see if he's talked about anything else. Jake. I know his big thing is, look, okay, 1/4 amount of time, look, take each step. And I know every founder has their own method and approach to when they launch. So it's all going to be different. Yeah, when you're building things, let's see, how many times has Bitcoin dropped? 90 something percent? Didn't Hex drop 98, 99%? And then it did a 10,000x? Not suggesting TitanX will, but just prominent projects that are still standing the test of time, that are still around, that we're all observing. Okay. No, this is the last one, and that was 9 days ago. Let's just say whatever he's building, maybe he see something that needs to happen, or maybe he's like, you know what, how can we get this burn percentage up? Not a token. Okay. I don't know. Okay, it'll use and burn X28 in the background. So you need X28 to use it. Who knows how it's going to burn. You'll be able to build businesses around it. So again, to my Monday thesis of real world asset, it's a big build. I mean, it's got to be. So he's a builder, going back to my original statement of it takes a community, and this is community oriented. It means we got, let's all pick our part. I learned this yesterday, 2 days ago. Had neighbors' parents were driving by, and we were talking with them, and one of the things they talked about that our neighbors, and then even my wife did growing up, is you go to didn't have it around where I grew up, but you could go to a pretend town, and everyone has the role. And so it's a pretend role. You'll have a banker, a grocer, you'll have a mayor, you'll have a chef, and they're all filling different roles within the community. And so kind of looking at approaching marketing like that, if we all got our own role. So I've chosen mine to be all right, let's get back to basics with TitanX. Let's just remind ourselves, is it going to be perfect? No, but we're kind of figuring it out. So anyway, that's that's kind of my initial thoughts and everything. Y'all let me know what you're thinking. Is there anything as I share this deck out? I'll just be taking screenshots and sharing it once I feel like it's at a good enough place to where I can be promoted and shared out with everyone. So anyway, I got nothing else. I'm excited to see what happens. Looking forward to whatever Jake has built. And then I think the mindset is, or to develop is, okay, what do I see going on and how can I add? And the first thing I thought of for me, because not a founder, not going to launch, not my thing, is what can I do that I've seen other projects be successful and continue that? What can I do? So anyway, y'all have a great, I can't do, peace out. Y'all have a great Thursday. Great June 12th. Holy smokes, this year has flown by. And we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.